Good afternoon and welcome to another webinar. My name is Dr. Ken Stewart, and the title for today's webinar is Taking Time for Yourself, or Self-Care. Taking time for yourself. During this webinar, I will introduce you to what self-care is, what it isn't, and why it is important to make self-care a part of your life. I invite you to look beyond the conventional ways of describing self-care and explore more meaningful, sustainable practices. Self-care is defined, make sure, okay, as a deliberate choice you make to maintain your own health and wellness. This includes regularly checking in with your mind and body, identifying any unmet needs, and nurturing your physical, mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual well-being on an ongoing basis. Taking care of yourself first is important because if you don't, you will have nothing left to give others. Let us start by clearing up some commonly held myths and misconceptions about self-care. Self-care is not an indulgence. While there's absolutely nothing wrong with indulging or pampering yourself once in a while, there is more to self-care than bubble baths and face masks. It is easy to trivialize and write off self-care by focusing only on the indulgence. Meaningful self-care involves not just the easy, fun things. More importantly, it includes making mindful changes in patterns of thoughts and behaviors that do not contribute to your well-being. For instance, saying no without feeling guilty, knowing when to take a break, or avoiding harmful coping mechanisms. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is not a disregard for others' needs. It is extending the same concern and empathy for your needs that you offer others. Practicing self-care by enforcing healthy boundaries and communicating your needs is not only essential for yourself, but also makes you more available to those around you. When you make time for yourself and get sufficient rest and exercise, you feel more energetic and will be able to do more for yourself as well as for those around you. Self-care is not a one-time experience. Going to the spa or having a video game day and treating yourself poorly for the rest of the week is not self-care. Looking after your most basic physical and emotional needs is not a one-time luxury. It is an ongoing practice in building resilience to face hardships and in preventing burnout. To put it simply, self-care is not optional. To make the most out of self-care, it is essential to have a regular practice that is a part of your life and not something you try only when you are about to have a breakdown. Self-care is not time-consuming. Making room for self-care, regular self-care in your life has a number of benefits. It helps to build resilience, prevents burnout, promotes healthier relationships, and make you more productive. So now the question is, How to create a sustainable self-care plan. First, you need to start small. You don't have to make sweeping or overwhelming changes to start practicing self-care. Start with small changes and additions to your routine. If setting aside 30 minutes every day seems impossible right now, try beginning with 10 minutes for the first week and gradually increase. Remember, self-care is less about what you do and more about how you treat yourself. Experiment. Each person is different and has unique needs, so there's no one-size-fits-all plan that will work for everyone. To figure out which practices work best for you, try a variety of things. When you experiment, you will gain clarity about what fits in your life and a routine. Make a list of activities you find helpful. Last is, you want to be intentional in your practice. If you want to build a sustainable self-care plan, it is important to be actively engaged in the practices you try. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. What is the outcome? What do you like or dislike about it? Here are some suggestions to get you started with a self-care plan. Pause and check in with yourself before getting out of bed. Practice slow, deep breathing. Start writing a journal. Create something, drawing, painting, cooking, you're sculpting, or you're putting together a collage. Stretch when you take a break. Put your phone or tablet away for 1 hour. Take a walk. And lastly, practice saying no. These are just suggestions that you can try to help you take better care of yourself. So as we end, I would like to ask you, what suggestions are you going to put in practice that will help you take care of yourself? Take a couple of seconds to think of your plan for this week. Give you a couple seconds to think about it, because we all need to take care of ourselves because we are important. So this brings us to the end of our topic, end of our time together for today. I wish you well this week as you enter into a new week. Please use the suggestions that was presented here to help you take better care of yourself. I thank you. Look forward to reconnecting next week. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.